Hi everyone, this is me, Admin George from Pageant Empress, and in today's interview, I have a special guest with me, all the way from the Philippines. She's a Miss Universe Philippines delegate, all the way from Parañaque, Miss Maria Ingrid Santamaria. Hello, Maria.
Hi everyone, it's so nice to be here. Cup and Cup.
Sam, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers who do not know who you are?
My name is Ingrid Santamaria, but everybody calls me Sam. That's my nickname. I'm a 25-year-old corporate professional. I work as an assistant e-commerce manager in a local eyewear company. I have a lot of hobbies and interests, but some things that I love doing and I've found myself doing over this pandemic are baking goods. I've loved to learn how to do yoga. I absolutely adore playing basketball with my two younger brothers and my dad. And just among those things, I find myself busy, and I've loved doing all these things in the pandemic.
It seems like you have learned a lot of new skills and found hobbies to make yourself occupied during the pandemic when a lot of people are just watching Netflix, like myself. So it seems that you have at least found a new hobby. That's great. So let's start the official interview. Before I start the interview, I make all my guests do the introduction. So, in Miss Universe styles, you could put hands on the hips. It's up to you. Just your full name, age, and the province you're representing in Miss Universe Philippines.
My name is Ingrid Santamaria. I'm 25 years old, and I'm representing the city of Parañaque.
Where did you grow up, and how are you as a teenager?
I was born and raised here in the Philippines, but when I was young, my mom moved us around. We lived in the US, and we also moved to Malaysia for a while until we moved back here. I was in around third grade when we moved back here to Parañaque, and I've done all my schooling here. I went to an all-girls high school. I went to university here, and right now I'm also working here. As a teenager, I was a little bit of a rebel. And I'd like to say that because my grandmothers were two people who've always had such a big impact in my life. And my dad was a PBA basketball player, and I wanted to join basketball. So I used to play the piano because my grandmother's a pianist. And instead of piano in high school, I decided I want to switch it up and I want to play basketball. And now that's not really a route that I was supposed to go, but it was something that really interested me. So I started pouring all my time into playing basketball. And even though my grandmothers didn't like it at the start, they said it was for boys. They said that it was something that would make me bigger and somebody who was more masculine. I found that basketball has taught me to become stronger. It's showed me a lot of how I handle my emotion has come from when I was a basketball player and an athlete. And I wasn't always the best in school because I did like to focus a lot on basketball. But eventually, after my mother telling me all these times that, education is important, education is the only thing nobody can take away from you, I've learned to value my education, and I've learned to balance the athlete side of me and the student side of me. And eventually, more than a student athlete, I even became a student leader. And from somebody who didn't want to listen to anything her grandmothers told her to somebody who embodied everything that everybody was telling her, I feel like I've grown so much since my teenage days. And I think that being all of these things has brought me to become the woman here in front of you today.
I totally disagree with her. I don't think, sports is only for men, like particular sports. I think sports are for everyone. So I completely disagree with her. And I think, you know what, Sam, you should continue playing because if you're good at it, if it's something that makes you happy, do you. Sorry, Grandma.
She's supportive now. So that's everything turned out good.
What is your educational background, Sam?
I graduated with a degree in communications. I graduated from one of the top universities called De La Salle University, and I graduated cum laude. So I've been, as you could say, an academic achiever. And I continue to just use everything that I learned while being a student and apply them, especially now that I'm working as a corporate professional. A lot of discipline, a lot of long hours of working. They've all really stemmed from my base, which was my education.
You said cum laude, right? Isn't that quite a high degree in Philippines? I mean, we don't have that here, but it sounds like a lot of the Miss Universe Philippines had that degree. So it sounds like you're quite intelligent. So beauty and a brain, so quite a good combination for beauty pageant. Talking about beauty pageants, so Sam, have you competed in any other beauty pageants prior joining the Miss Universe Philippines?
No, this is actually my first beauty pageant, and at a national stage at that. I've found that in my life, sometimes you just have to go for your dreams. You just have to take the first step there. And for me, this is my first step into the world of pageantry.
I love that. I don't know if this is going to be something that's going to be in common because, like I said, I've interviewed two other girls before you, and both of them, this is the first time competing in a pageantry. You're the third one who did the same things. It feels like it's a pattern that's going to continue until I get all the 30 girls of Miss Universe Philippines. Since you said this is the first ever pageant, why did you enter the Miss Universe Philippines pageant?
It wasn't really in my plans to become a beauty queen, to pursue pageantry. But the lovely people I've had, the mentors at the camp, messaged me on Instagram, and they asked me if I was willing to train to become possibly a candidate for Miss Universe. And I've seen one of my really good friends, Bella, do it the year before. And these are the same people who trained Bella. So I was 25, looking for something that I could do with my life, something that would give me a bigger purpose and a bigger audience to share my values. And I realized that if not now, then when? Right. So that's exactly why I joined.
I remember you were one particular challenge. I think it was a runway one. And it looked like you were behind the scene of a fashion show, and they were like, someone was doing like makeup, and you literally went and did your walk. And I thought, wow, that's actually very eye-catchy videos. So I don't know how you did that because that was such a fierce look. And today you look so soft and so feminine, but in that video you're like really fierce. So how was that, the whole experience of doing the video, runway video?
Every challenge right now is so new and exciting to me just because it is my first time doing everything. But for that runway video in particular, I had an amazing glam team who helped me decide the styling. I had a lot of help from my mentors who advised me on what I should wear, how I should look. But really, I think that it was my confidence that took me to that level, even though pasarela has been one of the hardest things for me to master in this journey. My trainer, Mama Zico, just was there in front of me and he just said, just be confident, just show them what you're made of. And, there are things you have to improve, but as long as you can be confident in that walk, as long as you can show your personality, then you already completed the challenge. And although there are a lot of little minor adjustments that I still have to do, I am really proud of that video because it shows how far I've already come just to get here today. And that's something we should all celebrate.
And talking about the preparations, how is your preparation going on for the upcoming Miss Universe Philippines?
My mentors from the camp and my advisors and my muses have been training me on all aspects it takes to be a beauty queen. It's actually more of holistic development is what I would call it. We have Q&A sessions. We, of course, have pasarela training sessions. I have somebody who helps me with my fitness and my diet and just my everyday routines. I have somebody for everything. Somebody who helps me with my styling, somebody who helps me with my glam. It's a whole family at the camp. And I'm just so grateful for all of them. And also, I wouldn't be here today without my sisters from the camp. That's Victoria and Christelle. Those two have been amazing. They've been my rock. We talk every day. We have a sisterhood. And I think that's something that's really, really important, especially when you're going on this kind of journey, on a competition, that there are people who support you and there are people who are at your back no matter what, people who have your back no matter what. And I'm just really grateful that through all of this difficult training, there's just people who I can lean back on and people who will hold my hand through it. And I'm just really so happy to be a part of the camp.
Talking about Parañaque, your hometown, how will you promote your hometown to international viewers watching this interview video?
Parañaque is in the middle of, it's a city, and it's bordered by a little bit of water. Originally, people from Parañaque used to care for the salt beds, but more than that now, Parañaque is a city of connection. It connects people, it connects different cities together, and the people of Parañaque are artisans. The people of Parañaque are community members, people who will do anything they can for somebody who is in need. And Parañaque is a beautiful place to visit. There are nice churches. There is an entertainment city. And there's also this eco-tourism habitat, which is called La Papachea, where you can see birds and species of plants that are endemic to Parañaque. And there's just a whole lot of things that you can see in Parañaque and things that you can do, and a lot of fun people that you can meet. It's a beautiful place.
What is the best thing about being a Filipina woman?
The fact that Filipina women of today are now empowered, people who support each other. I love being a Filipina because I do have a community of people behind me, people who believe in the same things as I do, people who share the same values. And being a Filipina means that I proudly get to wear those colors, those values of patience, the values of teamwork, the values of sisterhood. And of course, being a Filipina, you get to eat all the delicious delicacies. And that's something I always love because I grew up eating different Filipino dishes even when we lived abroad. We would bring those dishes and share them with all the people around us, and everybody enjoys eating a classic adobo or some pancit canton. Those are some things I love about being Filipina.
What color best symbolizes a phenomenal woman, according to you?
I've always thought of a phenomenal woman in a color version as somebody who is golden, somebody who shines, somebody who is sophisticated, somebody who is empowered. And gold is a color that always catches your eye. But if you're in the right shade of gold, it's not so overpowering. Being golden is being phenomenal because being golden allows you to shine from the inside and to show how bright you really can shine.
Yeah, that was a fantastic answer. And I hope you're not saying that because I'm wearing gold. Like the jacket I'm wearing is quite golden. And I feel like maybe because you saw me wear gold, I hope you're not saying that because of that. But I really like your answer. What has been your biggest achievement in your life so far?
Honestly, have done a lot of things in my life that I can be proud of. But I think one of my biggest achievements is being here on this journey to Miss Universe Philippines. And even though I haven't won a crown yet, or even though there isn't, time for me to say that I am already a beauty queen, achievement for me shows growth. It shows transformation. And I have definitely transformed myself to become a phenomenal woman, to become someone who advocates for her communities. And I love sharing my ideas. For me, this is the biggest achievement because this shows my era of becoming. And it's something that I will always look forward to and something that I can always look back on.
Talking about pageantry, since this is your first pageant, have you ever received any kind of negative comments or bashings? And if you have, how do you handle them?
I have definitely received my fair share of negativity and bashing. What I like to do is simply look at the comment, put it in one ear, and get it out the other. Not everybody is entitled to tell you what to do, tell you what to change about yourself. At the end of the day, if you're proud of who you are, if you're proud of the work that you've put out, if you're happy with the challenge that you've released, there's nothing that somebody who is saying negative things about can do to change my mind on that. And I think that mental strength is something that is very, very important, especially in a competition like this. It's very cutthroat. People will try to tear you down. People will try to pit you against your other sisters, but just seeing where they're coming from, and if it doesn't really affect you and the way you see yourself, just politely let them go. Trolls will always be trolls, you know?
Especially being a beauty queen, you guys are public figure, which means you are in the pedestal, and there's a lot of people who will love you and give you support on your journey. However, unfortunately, there will still be people who might not be that good and might just, spread negativity, which we do not need at the moment, because you girls are, working really hard to get to that top 30 spot. Now, let's move on to our fun questions. I have 10 fun questions for you. In this part of the interview, I make all my guests, I offer 2 options for you, and you have to pick one, okay? Mountains or beach?
I have always been somebody who enjoyed the beach. My mom used to take me to the beach when I was young, and it just reminds me of a fun time with all of my friends. I feel that when I'm at the beach, I'm able to connect to nature. I'm able to introspect and feel what it truly means to be alive.
Cats or dogs?
I love dogs. I have 2 dogs of my own who are very, very dear to me. And it's a fun way to just play with pets. Pets, I think, absorb your emotional quotient really well. When I'm feeling really down, I have he's a Doberman. His name's Dino. He comes to me and he just asks me to pet him. And especially when I feel sad, I feel like he's there to support me emotionally as well.
Winter or summer?
I love the summertime. In the Philippines, we only have wet or dry, rainy or sunny, and I always prefer the sun.
Travel to the future or go back in the past?
Travel to the future. I'd like to see how far we've gone and how far we can still go.
True love or $1 million US?
$1 million US, because I've already experienced true love from my mom.
Evening gown or swimsuits?
Wearing an evening gown, I feel transformed. I feel beautiful and I feel confident.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
100% night owl. It's hard for me to get up in the morning. I always hit snooze. I always ask for 5 extra minutes from my alarm. Please, alarm, 5 minutes.
Countryside person or a city person? What do you prefer, countryside or a city?
City girl. I love exploring new cities and just seeing how the culture differs from city to city. And it's so fun because in cities, you can meet so many people and you can learn from so many people. And those people become a part of your story.
Always be 20 minutes early or always be 20 minutes late?
Always be 20 minutes early because I'm somebody who usually comes to stuff late, and I would like to change that about myself.
Spicy food or non-spicy food?
I love spicy food. My dad always put chili on every single thing that he ate growing up, and I also eventually learned to love it. I feel like spicy food just brings a kick. It makes food fun.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
In 10 years from now, I would probably be, how old am I? 25, 35. I'll be 35 years old, and I would love to have my own small business. I'd love to work for myself at my own time. And I'd like to see all of my hard work and all my efforts and all of my dedication somewhere that makes me proud. It's different working for somebody else and it's different working for yourself. And I feel like becoming a self-made businesswoman is very, very empowering.
What is your advocacy that you have been working on, and why did you select this particular topic as part of your advocacy?
I didn't really have to look for an advocacy. I've been living my entire life in a family of artists and athletes. I've seen how being in sports and arts have helped a lot of my cousins grow into people who have values, people who have different mindsets, people who are goal-oriented. Mm-hmm. And my grandmother holds a very dear place in my heart. Her name is Ingrid Santamaria. And one of her passions is really to share music to the world. And in the Philippines, we know there are a lot of places that don't have the right access to music and sports. And my advocacy is really for the younger generations, for the youth to be able to use music and art as tools to reimagine the world. I've seen it in real life. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen how my grandmother's foundation has changed the lives of scholars. And through music, she was able to help them become better in life. And that's why I also am part of these organizations that I'm partnered up with, because I do believe in the power of sports and arts to just change the world.
I'm so happy that you are promoting about creativity and the arts, especially because I feel like that is the field that is always left behind, because people focus so much on the the education, as in like the doctors, right? Like the doctors, engineer, and focus heavily, especially the Asian family, they focus on those particular career. So I'm happy that you're focusing more on the creative arts, which I feel like is always kind of left behind. So I'm happy that you're doing this.
The arts and sports are also an integral part of education. I feel that they aren't separate, but they should all be together as a whole. Everybody should just have the opportunity to be able to explore and dabble.
Do you have any special talent?
Playing basketball is considered a special talent. That's something I love to do. I bake. I've learned how to make cinnamon rolls. I've learned how to do banana bread and cookies. And the fun thing about that is in our community, we have a village sort of pantry. We have a Facebook page where we post the things that we make, and our neighbors buy food from us, and we support our neighbors, and we get to try a lot of different foods. And that's really, really fun. I also play a little bit of piano. Very, very little bit, just enough I can play a song. I can play a few songs, and I love making friendship bracelets too. That was something I did when I was really young, and something I still do for my friends till today.
How would you describe yourself in just 3 words? The 3 words to describe who is the real Sam.
I would say I'm confident. I would say that I have beauty with a purpose. And I would say that I'm very, very goal driven. Once I see something and I make it a goal, I will do everything in my power to achieve it. And to be able to get there this time, I need to be using my beauty for a greater purpose. And it's just something that I have become so passionate about throughout this journey, which allows me to become more confident in myself as a woman of today.
Who is your favorite Miss Universe winner?
Zozibini, she said something about how we should teach young girls leadership. And she really inspired so many people with her answer with the imagery of taking up space. And I 100% agree with her. And she even inspired me, somebody who wasn't sure of taking this path, to realize that there is something that I can say, and that the things I do believe in should have a platform. And it's just, that answer is really, really one of my top favorite answers. So that's why I chose her.
What is the most important issue your generation are facing today?
I think one of the issues our generation is facing today is unrealistic beauty standards. We see beautiful photos all over social media. We see women with bodies that are contorted and edited, and there are young people who look at that and think that this is the way I'm supposed to look. This is the way that society is telling me to change myself. And sometimes this even leads to mental health issues, which are very, very prevalent in society today, especially among the youth. And what I think people should do, because we can't really censor, there's no way to censor all images that are up on social media. What I think people should do is to become responsible consumers of media. People should know that not everything you see on the internet is real, and not all of those photos are exactly how they look like in real life. And there is a difference between loving a photo for the art and the beauty of it, and seeing a photo and thinking, this is how I need to look. This is what is considered beautiful, because all human beings are enough and all human beings are beautiful. And I wish more young boys and girls around the world would just learn to accept themselves for how they really are.
A lot of people, when they're looking through or checking through different Instagram posts or Facebook posts, just keep in mind that majority, like let's say 90% of the photos have been altered in one shape or form or another. It has been retouched. Nobody looks that smooth. Nobody's skin is that fair or have that glass skin without makeup or without some editing done in Photoshop. So let's just look at the image, appreciate the beauty, but at the same time, let's not put pressure on ourselves to think we have to look like that. We know, because that person, whoever that photo is, doesn't even look like that without makeup and some editing done. What is the first thing you will do when you win the crown of Miss Universe Philippines?
Definitely, I would eat a whole bucket of cookies. But after that, I already am partnering with a few organizations. And what I would like to do is to go on a bigger platform and partner with more organizations that make music and sport available to Filipinos, to young Filipinos, and to help transform their lives and make it known that there is an avenue for you to explore music and sport, and that music and sport will change your mindset.
Do you think are beauty pageants still relevant in this time during pandemic? Do you think beauty pageants are still relevant in today's society?
In my opinion, as long as there are women who want to represent, who want to be delegates, who want to be candidates, then there is a relevance for beauty pageants in society, because all these women have stories to tell. And more than that, they have a purpose to fulfill. And all of these women are like-minded people who will do anything it takes to achieve what it is that they're dreaming about. And of course, to help others. Beauty pageants are not just shows. They're not just a showcase of talent and beauty and your body and how you walk around, but really they offer us platforms. They offer us a huge platform to be able to speak about the things we care about and to be able to help those people who wouldn't necessarily know about the things that we are talking about and the causes that we do care about.
If you can change one thing about this world, what would that be and why?
I just wish everybody would be a little bit more empathetic. I wish everybody would be mindful of their actions. And with empathy and with mindfulness, we will be able to eradicate a lot of things that are discriminating against people. We will be able to eradicate negative mindsets. And just by being more mindful, everybody in the world will be able to share a little light.
Why should you be the next Miss Universe Philippines?
For me, winning this competition is more than just wearing a crown. For me, what winning Miss Universe Philippines really means to me is that I have a place to be able to speak. I have a bigger audience and a wider influence to allow the youth to be able to use sport and art. And that really is my purpose in this life. And that has always been my purpose ever since I was a young girl growing up in a world that doesn't really prioritize sport and art and that doesn't show importance to these things. I want the youth to know that they can be inspired and that they can dream and that they can achieve any of their goals.
I agree. And you ended that answer in a very inspirational way. I think we all can dream and we all can achieve whatever we want, right, in our life. So I like how you ended that answer. So in the end, Sam, do you have any message to your fans or your well-wishers? Please say now.
First of all, to all my new supporters that are seeing me through this interview, thank you already for supporting me so much in this journey just by watching this interview. For everybody else who's already been here from the start, for all my supporters, for my fan clubs, for my family, my friends, and my mentors at the camp, for all my sisters at Miss Universe, I would just like to say thank you for always inspiring me to do better. Thank you for always giving me a bigger purpose. And thank you for watching me grow and transform into the woman I am. For everybody who wants to follow more in my journey, you can follow my fan accounts at Ingrid Universe or Sam Universo. And you can also like my Facebook page, Ingrid Santamaria. together we are going on this journey, and I hope that you can continue supporting me until we make it all the way to the crown. Thank you so, so much again, everybody, for all of your support. It really means the world to me.
Thank you so much once again, Sam, for agreeing to do this interview with me, because I know you girls have a heavy, very busy schedule, and you kind of did the end job for me. I usually tell the girls to talk about their social media handles. You kind of talked about it. So like she said, follow her. You can see on the screen. Follow Sam on her social media platforms and support her journey towards the Miss Universe Philippines crown, because she could be the second Miss Universe Philippines winner. Once again, Sam, thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with me. And I wish you all the best towards your journey to the crown of Miss Universe Philippines. Bye-bye.
Thank you so, so much. I had such a great time.